College be free. So imagine graduating from college with a degree, ready to begin your career, and before you get your first paycheck, before you get into the civilian world, you're already either tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands in debt, right? So this reality is the reality of majority of people that go to college in the United States because they can't afford to pay for college or university up front, right? So higher education has become one of the most important pathways to career success, but the increasing cost of tuition has made college harder to afford. According to the College Board, the average tuition and fees at a four-year public university have continued to increase, forcing many students to rely on loans or consider attending college altogether. Public college tuition should be free because it expands access to education, strengthens the economy, reduces the debt, and creates greater opportunities for people with financial backgrounds. I am Sergeant Julio Burgos, and today we'll be discussing the high cost of college that creates barriers. Free college would expand the access to higher education. Free college benefits the economy, and free college will promote social mobility and reduce inequality. High cost of college creates barriers. College has become increasingly expensive, making it harder for the average American to have access to higher education. According to the College Board's average tuition and fees at a public four-year university continue to increase. The cost of attending college is beyond tuition, right? Because it's textbooks, it's the reading material, it's the supplies, it's the boarding, transportation, and then whatever, food, the educational expenses that come with everything. The Education Data Initiative reports that Americans owe more than 1.7 trillion in student loans. You guys watch the news, right? I think the US right now is like at 15 trillion dollars as a country. So if Americans owe 1.7 trillion in student loan debt, that is like pretty much a little bit over a tenth of that the average American who attended college owes. Many students delay college, work excessive hours, or avoid higher education entirely because of financial concerns, right? So I don't know if everybody here knows of somebody who probably had to drop out of college because they couldn't keep up with the high demands of paying their bills, and on top of that, balancing it with the requirements that come with going to a college or a university. Free college would expand access to higher education. Removing tuition costs would allow more students to pursue college degrees, regardless of their financial background. Students from low-income families are less likely to attend college because tuition and related expenses create major obstacles. Research from the Brookings Institution shows that reducing the cost of higher education can increase college enrollment, and especially from students that come from backgrounds that don't have that financial advantage. Free college would allow students to focus more on education, more than how to pay. So like I said earlier, I think everybody here has probably met some person that has dropped out, right? God forbid, during that time that they're in college, something happens, either an illness, you need medical, they're not gonna have a job to actually pay for the medical, or any other major life expense. They might have a kid on the way or anything like that. So all of these things impact a person's ability to be able to graduate college. But whether they finish or not, once you start and you take out that loan, right, you're already in debt. So free public college will allow students to focus more on the education. Expand access gives people the ability to earn degrees and qualify for higher paying degrees, right? So for these expensive degrees, if you go into the workforce and you're already hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, right? Yes, you're gonna get paid more money, but at the same time, the moment you start that job, you're already tens of thousands, like I said, or not hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. So use your career fund and your paycheck how you would want, because half of it is already going to something else. So it kind of cripples you a little bit. Free college benefits the economy. The more educated population, the more it creates stronger and a more productive workforce. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, individuals with higher levels of education generally experience lower unemployment rates, higher earnings compared to those with less education. So, and if we grow up in a household that incentivizes to go to college, right? What they say is like, kind of college is like the key to success, right? It's guaranteed to get a higher paying job, the better life that you're going to live. Right? College graduates often contribute to economic growth through increased productivity, innovation, and professional skills. The Georgetown and University Center on Education and the Workforce explains that education and career choices have significant impacts on lifetime earnings and economic opportunities. By increasing the number of college graduates, society gains a larger workforce prepared for high demanding careers. People graduate from college, right? They have more doors open to them, more opportunities to create businesses, more opportunities to use those businesses to employ people, and the economy benefits from it, right? The more people that are employed, the less people are going to be on either welfare or depending on the government. Free college will promote social mobility and reduce inequality. So making public college tuition free will give more people the opportunity to improve their economic situation. The Pew Research Center has found that education plays an important role in economic mobility, allowing individuals to improve their financial circumstances and opportunities. Students with lower income backgrounds will have a better chance to earn degrees without limited cost of tuition. Providing equal access to college helps reduce the gap between individuals who can afford higher education and those who cannot. Best way out of the lower class, right, would be to attend college, because obviously you're gonna get paid more money and you kind of scale that socioeconomic ladder, right, from being low income to middle class, and depending on what you decide to do with your degree. And to sum it up, college should be free because it expands access to education, promotes greater social mobility. Every qualified student should have the opportunity to earn a college degree regardless of their financial circumstances. Investing in a higher education is not simply helping the individual students, it is investing in stronger communities and more competitive workforce and the future success of our nation. This concludes my speech.